Quaker House was started because my mother died fairly recently before, and she'd had to go into a nursing home. And there were people in Bournemouth who thought how wonderful it would be if they could have a home to which their friends could go instead of having to travel a long way away. And Margaret Peach, who lived in Bournemouth at that time, had the same idea.
Quaker House is sort of, in one sense, was originally unique in that it was not a conventional care home, nor was it a residential hotel, which were the options at the time which it was founded. It was a home for the frail and active elderly, where people effectively had their own little self-contained flatlet, their bed sitter, which was unusual at the time.
Quaker House was created by Quakers and is sustained by Quakers, but it's open to all. And we are looking now to the future to try and make sure that the key sustainability of Quaker House is protected so that it is still here offering the same values in 50 years' time.
This poem was written by Eileen Hare in 1990. It's called The Quaker House Saga. Just 20 years ago it all began, when two dear ladies hatched a splendid plan to start a fund which would, when grown full size, provide the means from which there might arise a lovely home wherein to take their rest, some 30 folk, not old, but past their best.
It suddenly dawned on me that either I had to make a decision or be put somewhere.
One morning I woke up and I knew I couldn't go on living on my own anymore.
I lived on my own and I had a house on my own, and I was relying more and more on my friends and neighbours, and you can't go on doing that forever.
Well, I had no idea that I'd ever be here, but 10 years ago, when I was 80 years old, I had a stroke. And I was living on my own at that time because my husband had died 10 years previously, and I thought it was a good idea to come in.
Staying here for a couple of weeks to see if you like it. The staff are lovely. They're kind. They obviously care for what they're doing. Many of them have done it for 20, 30 years. And I already knew long before the end of the fortnight that I was going to stay if they'd have me.
My daughter had to put up with a lot of stick because her mother was going into a home and other people thought she was wrong. But she said it was a Quaker home, which is rather different. But no, other people thought she was wrong. Fancy putting your mother in a home.
I think people feel they may be giving up their independence, but that's not the case, really. I mean, they're coming to a new family, if you like, in terms of sharing their life with people in a different way. We hope that people will remain as independent as possible for as long as possible.
It's help if you need it, whereas if you want to be independent and do what you want to do, then you can do that too. And they can come in on just the basic care, and they can have just, do their own thing, just come down for meals and everything. Or there's a second lot of care where they have things done from like washing, making their beds, we do all that as well. And then there's the main care, whereas they have everything done for them.
I look upon this room as my home. And if people say, oh, don't you miss your home? I say no, because if you've got your own things around you, it's up to you to make it home. But there's always support when I need it, if I need it.
Our rooms are our homes, and the staff come when invited. and they will be immensely helpful when they do come. And they do need to at times. We fall over, we need to be rescued. And they're wonderful when that happens.
Quaker House is a lovely house. It's very open and the staff are very happy and very helpful. It makes a huge difference to the residents.
I agree with that.
Mm.
They're very, very caring.
Yes.
Which makes it so much more, how can I say, happy.
Also, of course, the house is very progressive. Over the years, we've actually had so many new things
Added, haven't you?
Yes, added the pond, garden room, little lounge upstairs. There's so much going on, which makes it very vibrant.
I go into the town on a Thursday to get my OAP in my hand. So I've got all the freedom I want. I bought my scooter. It takes me 10 minutes to get down to the beach. And then I walk down that hill onto the beach and away along. The seaside is my comfort zone. That's where I go for my walking.
The fact that it is run by a voluntary board as a not-for-profit operation does have impact, because the whole purpose and drive of the board is to make sure solely the residents are happy. The biggest challenge we've always had, of course, is trying to minimise the increase in fees, because unfortunately, with the changes in regulation and the improvements in standards and so forth, there is always upward pressure on the fees. So the main challenge I've always found is to try and find the right balance between preserving the long-term future of Quaker House but minimising the cost to the present residents.
Part of sustainability is reducing the energy needs. And so we started here by putting on a very large installation of solar water heating, and that had the very wonderful result of reducing our gas bill by about 20%. We then discovered that there was very little insulation in the loft, so we put that right. We've replaced all the windows with high specification argon-filled double glazed windows, and we've just put on 8 kilowatts of solar electricity panels. This all feels right for the sustainability of Quaker House. It's reducing the electricity bills, it's reducing the gas bills, it's reducing the resources we're using, and it's stopping waste. I think there's more to go, but this is a jolly good starting point.
Quaker House is a very homely home. I think people that visit us feel that when they come through the door. And they feel the warmth of the residents that live here and the friendliness from the staff team that work here. And that's not something that you get from all homes that you visit.
My summary of both as the child of a resident and as a board member is the overall atmosphere of the place, the sense of peace and calm, of a community of people within their limitations getting on with their lives as best they can. I find that the most attractive part of Quaker House, and one of the reasons why I've been pleased to serve on the board and why my mother was so happy when she lived here.
We number 40 now. Our bounds have spread, but we inherit where our founders led, and that we cherish. What we have made is clear. The good and kindly life we hold most dear.